ECOVAC's latest robot vacuum is the DEEBOT OZMO T8 AIVI, and it promises to be the most powerful and smartest robot vacuum and mop on the market. It's powered by AIVI, which stands for Artificial Intelligence and Visual Interpretation. ECOVACS is using a new AI processor as well as a new AI algorithm. This makes the Osmo T8 AIVI better at cleaning your house on one go round, instead of needing to run the robot vacuum again. One of the big features of the Osmo T8 AIVI is the ability to vacuum and mop in one go. Essentially what this means is that if you put the mopping pad onto the Osmo T8 AIVI, you can have the robot vacuum and mop your floors at the same time, instead of having it vacuum, then run it again to mop. House only the bedrooms have carpet and is able to tell that those rooms are carpeted before it even goes into those rooms, which is pretty impressive actually. And if you look at the map on the ECOVACS app, it does also indicate that these rooms are carpeted. That's a really nice addition to the Osmo T8 AIVI. ECOVACS has equipped the Osmo T8 AIVI with dual side brushes, and there are replacements in the box as well. It also has a floating brush that will suck up all of the pet hair, dirt, and dust. This floating brush is able to clean out crevices that are up to 4 millimeters deep. Now let's talk about the smarts of the DEEBOT OZMO T8 AIVI. New with the Osmo T8 AIVI, the AI is able to recognize different obstacles. These include things like shoes, charging docks, cables, socks, cloths, U-shaped chairs, and small floor mats. In our experience with the Osmo T8 AIVI, we've seen the vacuum avoid these obstacles pretty well, though it doesn't quite label them correctly, but honestly, that's not a big deal. As long as the Osmo T8 AIVI doesn't get tangled up in charging cables and other things. In fact, this is the first robot vacuum I've used where it didn't get tangled up in anything and ended up needing attention at some point. ECOVACS will also send you a report within the app once it is done cleaning. This tells you where the obstacles were and what they are. You can then go through your home and remove them and then have it re-cleaned, or just tap on the no re-cleaning required option at the bottom. As with anything that uses artificial intelligence, the Osmo T8 AIVI will continue to learn every time it cleans your home and get better at avoiding obstacles, and it'll be able to optimize how well it cleans. You might have noticed that the Osmo T8 AIVI also has a camera on the front of the vacuum. This is used to drive the Osmo T8 AIVI so you can clean any spot you want and see what's happening in your home in real time. Now, if you're worried about privacy with this, don't be. In order to use the AIVI video manager, you need to set a password within the app. Additionally, this data is not transferred to the cloud, and if you don't want to use the AIVI video manager, ECOVACS includes a camera lens cover which will block the camera from being used, so that the Osmo T8 AIVI doesn't see any part of your home. In recent years, we've seen robot vacuums get much better at mapping out our floor plans and cleaning every inch of our house. ECOVACS is taking it a step further with the Osmo T8 AIVI. It is using direct time-of-flight laser detection. Now, this is an aerospace standard detection technology that allows the Osmo T8 AIVI to detect double distance and has 4-fold precision to detect objects. But what does that mean for real-world usage? Well, it means that the Osmo T8 AIVI is less likely to get lost in your home and less likely to get stuck, as it is able to detect smaller objects that are as small as 2 millimeters. This is particularly useful for those with larger floor plans, as you're going to get much more detailed floor plan out of the Osmo T8 AIVI. ECOVACS has added the ability to use 3 different floor plans. This is useful for those that have multiple floors in their home. One floor plan for the first floor, another for the second floor, and so forth. Osmo T8 AIVI is also able to automatically detect which floor plan it should be using, so there's no need to select it within the app, which is honestly very useful. And of course, you can set up virtual walls as well as no mopping zones. Now, I've set up no mopping zones in the bedrooms of my home since they are carpeted, and it works really well. Virtual walls also work great if you want to keep the Osmo T8 AIVI from going into a specific place. I set one up in the bathroom so it only vacuums half of the bathroom, and it works great every time. What good is a powerful robot vacuum and mop if it is unable to actually clean your entire house on a single charge? Well, that's where this large capacity battery in the Osmo T8 AIVI comes into play. It's a 5200 mAh capacity battery, and that's just a bit bigger than some smartphone batteries these days. And it is able to clean for up to 3 hours. That's enough to clean 2 floors, and our users that seem to be pretty accurate. Even on its most powerful mode, it was able to clean my whole home in a little over an hour and still have more than half the battery left. Now, Max Plus mode essentially increases the suction power so it can get everything up off of the floor. It boosts the suction quite dramatically, and you can really tell a difference. It'll pick up dirt and dust that you don't even see on the floor. This is particularly good for those with allergies. It's also pretty insane how quiet the Osmo T8 AIVI is, even in this Max Plus mode. And this is going to allow you to continue watching TV while the Osmo T8 AIVI is doing its thing. Now, as mentioned before, the Osmo T8 AIVI does work with the ECOVACS, which is simple and easy to use. It allows you to schedule cleaning, see what the Osmo T8 AIVI is doing while it's vacuuming, and even set it to vacuum specific areas in the house, which you can choose to have it vacuum once or twice. Osmo T8 AIVI also has voice reporting, which tells you what's going on and when, including when it is done and going back to the charging dock, when the mopping module is installed, etc. It will also tell you in the ECOVACS app, which is insanely helpful. You'll also get timely updates from the ECOVACS. Simply update the app and you'll be ready to go with new optimizations and features. Stair safety technology is included here, which, as you might expect, keeps the Osmo T8 AIVI from falling down the stairs. It uses its sensors to sense where there is a drop-off and then reverse so that it doesn't take a trip down the stairs. It also has an anti-collision system, which will keep all of your valuables safe. There are also sensors for this, but ECOVACS has a soft cushion bumper on the front that keeps it from damaging anything. Now, you may see it run into furniture or the wall from time to time, but that bumper keeps the Osmo T8 AIVI from causing any damage. And as it learns where everything is in your home, it'll hit your furniture less and less. The first time I ran the Osmo T8 AIVI, it hit some of my furniture. Now, nearly a week later, it's almost nothing. Now, ECOVACS did not forget the all-important Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa compatibility with the Osmo T8 AIVI either, allowing you to use your voice to tell it to start vacuuming. Now, I hope you enjoyed this review of the ECOVACS DEEBOT OZMO T8 AIVI, and if you did, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more content in the future.